1862, on January 12th, William Corley, Coley, he started to make a notation in his notebook. He wrote down that tumors started to regress in patients that had unusually high fever. What is going on? And how does this relate to Russia making the world a better place, which we want to, and the Russian empire expansion? My name is Mark Biernat. I'm a monetary economist. In this video, we're going to talk about just that. In Susan Sontag, illness is a metaphor. This is the metaphor, but I think you're going to find some unusual facts here. I'm not a medical doctor. I am a doctor, PhD, but I'm not a medical doctor, and I'm not giving medical advice. But I want to discuss this in relation to Russia, the Russian empire and despotism as it now exists. So William Corley, he actually was an American surgeon. He noted this. He was experimenting after that with strains of bacteria. He was mixing it together. A lot of them are pretty toxic. And the thing about cancer is this, that it's usually, or a lot of times, under the radar. It evades surveillance. It can't be detected. Because your body might have abnormalities every day. Your immune system comes in and squelches it. But in a cancer that grows, often it's invisible. It's so close to the actual cells, your immune system thinks, oh, it's just a normal cell. And so what this immunotherapy, that was in 1862, what it was about, and they noted it before, but they didn't understand germs, viruses, and everything else, is when your body goes through a reaction, it typically alerts the immune system. So we have oncological viruses that are starting to be researched today. You might want to research it, okay? And what this is something like, it's been around for a while, the modified Newcastle virus or a modified measles virus. You can inject it right into a tumor, see what happens. It alerts the immune system. It starts to achieve long-term surveillance, which is the real problem, okay? How is that like Russia and the world today, and we want to make it a better place? Specifically, it's this. First of all, awareness is almost synonymous with free will. If you're not aware that Russia is doing something incredibly evil for the body, the human consciousness, the Jungian collective unconsciousness of humanity, then you are like a cell that doesn't realize that there's a cancer in the world. I'm not talking about the country of Russia. I'm not talking about the individuals of Russia. I'm not talking about, Russian culture where Leo Tolstoy or Alexander Hennet, they say that this despotism is like a rot, like a cancer, like a virus. They said it. These are Russians. These are great intellectuals. Okay? I'm talking about the despotism. We know that it will enslave humanity for hundreds of years in the perpetual continuous wars. That is the threat to humanity. We want to make the world a better place, and I do, for children, our children's children, for nieces, nephews, whatever relation, the next generation. We've got to see that. And right now, all of the world does not see it. It's under surveillance. It's under the radar. It's not under surveillance. It's under the radar. You've got Montesquieu and Rousseau, of course, talking about how despotism is like that. So what William Corley did in 1862 is he realized that there's a mechanism when we can awaken the immune system, and I realized that we can awaken the global consciousness, the collective unconsciousness, to an oncological virus, metaphorically, to alert the world about the despotism of Russia. And there's a lot of people on YouTube that do this, including myself, Professor Darren Gerdes, okay? I've got a whole list here. Anna from Ukraine, okay? Georgie from Ukraine Matters. The Silicon Curtain. Constantine from inside Russia. What about Greg Terry? He's in Ukraine now. These are people who are metaphorically like oncological viruses that alert the immune system of the collective unconsciousness of humanity that there is an invasion of a dark force in something that can destroy humanity and we have to fix it. Now, just because they're starting to toy with in clinical trials oncological viruses, that doesn't mean that's the cure. What that means is the first step of priming, so the immune system comes in and destroys it. And once the immune system sees something, it can't unsee it. You can see it on CDK8 plus markers, Ellie spot. You can see this under, T cell infiltration. But the basic idea, whether you're using all these ancient, diseases like smallpox in Polish, I think there's Corella, I don't know what it is in English, but they're modified versions, is the retro wild version of the virus, of a retrovirus that we all have pretty much. You just extract it. It's in too low quantities. You extract it from our own bodies and then spin it, replicate it, and re-inject it unmodified. These will, especially if you inject it right into the point, these will create a massive dendrite cell antigen reaction that will eliminate the cause. Hopefully, that's the hope. So Russia is no question. It is like Susan Sontag's illness as a metaphor, the culture of despotism, not the people, not the country. It is like a cancer, and this despotism has to be eliminated. I don't care if Russia exists 20 years from now. I really don't. I think it would be better if it didn't. But that's, neither here nor there. That's subjective. But are you telling me you haven't thought of it this way? That this evil force, the darkness, and yet we are trying to legitimize, because we don't recognize, if I'm meeting with the leaders of this country, dialoguing and discussing, it's like the immune system legitimizing a tumor in your body. That's the opposite of what we should do. We should be shouting on the rooftops that calling it like it is. Awareness is almost synonymous with free will. That's a philosophical line of thought I can go down if you want. And remember what William Tolstoy and Alexander Herzen said, these Russian intellectuals, about their own despotism in their own country. So we're trying our best on YouTube, just like Anna from Ukraine, Greg Terry, Darren Gertis, Konstantin inside Russia. We're trying our best to alert the world. So once the world is alerted and it seeps into the consciousness, then action can be taken, real action. And when that happens, the world will become a better place. And that's my dream, and that's my hope. So let's take this Russia down. Let's eliminate that cancerous despotism in the world and usher in a healthier human body, a healthier collective unconsciousness. Look up William Coley. Perhaps I'm a little bit inspired. I have these Outlander books. I have the whole case here. And, the author has a PhD in microbiology. She's Catholic, by the way. And she writes about a historical time traveler, and they dive into these medical anomalies and things. I don't think she goes into Corley, although I believe one of the characters in her name makes reference to that in an indirect way. So it's a pretty good series. But anyway, let's make the world a better place, make the world aware of this Russia, and take it down. Ukraine's going to win. My name is Mark Biernat. I'm a monetary economist. Have a beautiful day. Thank you very much.